Ghost of Tsushima is an interesting game, and today I decided to platinum it, getting all 52 trophies in this game. Without further ado, make sure to like and subscribe if you're interested in more platinum videos, and let's begin. We start this game off with our main character Jin going to fight the Mongols since they're coming to invade us. After a whole lot of death and killing, we got our asses whooped in the end, and we see our uncle get kidnapped. After a short little nap, we wake up with this woman who's going to help us, play this game and get revenge on the Khan. After sneaking around and doing a little bit of remembering on our past, we complete the tutorial of this area and get to name our horse. I called mine Nobu since it has trust. We then go to our uncle's house to find him and get him out of here, but we meet the Khan again and he beats us all the way down a whole damn cliff. And we wake up on the beach, getting ready to grind our way back to the Khan and fight him. In this game there are a lot of tales. Gold ones will be the main, Jin journey. However, the other ones will be side missions, and there's usually a trophy connected to all these side missions I have to do, and you get some cool items. So let's get started with that. We go to a small fortress where we assassinate a guy in a not so samurai way, and get conflicted memories since this is not cool what we did. And we then get a trophy in this memory for using a camera. Following that memory, we go to a point of no return where we continue doing the not so samurai things to these other people here, and these bandits. This results in us being conflicted again, and we're no longer, the samurai way, getting a trophy. I should probably tell you this game has different stances and fighting styles for different enemies so you can do more damage, but it's been over a year since I played this game and I have no idea what any of these are anymore. So, sorry, I'm not going to be able to explain it to you right now. Anyway, after getting to this special camp right here, we see a warlord Doga who gets slimed by me, and then we liberate the whole city. From this, we become a wandering samurai and get full max HP. From this intense fight, we now get into the sauna and just think. I'll have to get into every single one of these on the map for another trophy, so just keep that in mind. With more sightseeing, I eventually ended up in this stronghold, where we kill a few people and rescue a guy named Taka, who is a blacksmith and is going to help us make a really good weapon to fight the Mongols. And escaping the stronghold gets us a trophy for completing this tale. Next up, we've got a few side missions, and one of them is with this guy who just gives us a bow, and skipping to a little bit more of the important stuff, we now have a bow, and that's really cool, which is useful. The next thing that we did was spend the next 3 hours doing random missions with information and lore that I don't remember, and I'm not going to explain. The next important thing we see is our uncle, who is basically speaking to the Khan, and he's just saying that he's not going to join the Khan, and screw him. In one of our side missions that we have to do, we get a trophy for starring 50 different enemies. And now we can finally move on to the main story since we finished some of these side tales. We talked to these Straw Hats guys, which are basically like our friends for now, and they are gonna help us ambush these Mongol bases. And during these fights, I got a trophy for counterattacking. Continuing the story, at this base, we sail into a Mongol boat to steal their food, but they decide that we're too dangerous and burn the whole boat down, trying to stop us. The mission to get the food was unsuccessful, but we got this guy to promise us that he's gonna go help us storm a castle where the uncle is. And we get a trophy for completing this tale. Since we have now gathered a lot of people from the side missions, we can now storm the castle. Unfortunately, the Straw Hat people were nowhere in sight, so we just started the infiltration without them. This was all smooth sailing until we get to the very top where we see our best friend, Ryozuku, who is the leader of the Straw Hats there. This isn't good as he's basically betrayed us and favored with the Mongols to get food for his people. And that means we now have to find him and defeat him in battle. I will say, this guy demolished me a few times, however on the 4th or 5th one I actually managed to win. Defeating our not so good friend in battle makes him basically just run away and call the Mongols to try and save him. But getting it, we now push into the main castle, where we discover the Khan is now running away and marching to the northern island, and we save our uncle. But first of all, we now need to take over the stronghold for our main base. So we go do that, reclaiming this whole place, and getting a trophy for doing so. Now we start marching all the way to take the provinces back in the north and meet a monk who will have a side mission we need to do. Inside of his tale, we actually learned the last dance that we needed, called the Moon Stance, giving us a trophy for having all 4 stances. It might also be important to say that during one of these missions, we got actually a bit little not so samurai and beheaded one of their generals, making them all go into fear. And we got a super mode where we can just do a lot of damage and kill them. We save this village from the Mongols, making everything all A-okay. Mongol Khan was having his own difficulties as we just killed one of his best generals, and the loyalty in the Mongol army was kind of deteriorating. So he called Ryuku to just go try and get my head and kill me. We got an achievement for protecting the village. Remember all those tales and side missions in the first area? Yeah, we gotta do that all again. So hello Mr. Bowman again. In one of the side missions we got a trophy for witness protection during one of the missions, and another one we got this that I have no idea what it's for. Around the map there is these pillars that have these honors and sword kits, and I actually ended up getting all of them right here. And in my quest for doing these miscellaneous and collectible trophies for now, I killed 20 people with the Ghost Stand Strike. I also might have forgotten to mention that people actually really care about me since I'm cleaning up the whole, island. And they actually sent me gifts, so when I claimed this gift here, it was actually my 10th one, and I got a trophy for it. And after a few more missions of doing these random side quests, I actually discovered this Umiji Cove for the main story. Now this area is really important, since we actually get a quest to go back to our home and get our original armor, which is from our family legacy. This is pretty important since our parents died to some murderer, and we do a full-on flashback on everything where we can claim this armor set. And completing this full-on flashback, we get a trophy. Now we meet up with big old Unc who tells us the Shogun has accepted our adoption papers, and I'm now legally the uncle's son. And now we can now fight the whole battle of Tsushima, which will be the whole fate of the island and if we'll win against the Mongols. We absolutely decimate them and we get into the Huacha, which is absolutely amazing and super overpowered as it's just flaming arrows everywhere. Pushing on, we make it to the massive bridge which is separating from the main castle, and the Mongols are just gonna fortify, and while we have our men run in there, they actually have explosives and horses which are gonna try and blow up all of our troops. But luckily some of them make it back. With us basically sieging them, we ask our uncle if we can go and sneak into their stronghold and poison their food to just kill them and have no losses in our army. But he gets really angry and says it's not the samurai way and we should never do that, and if we continue down this path we're not going to be good. So we go ahead and poison all of them, basically making them all dead. So we push on to the main castle to see who's there, and we see our good friend, Ryuko, who basically tells us that he's trying to fight to get food for his people and he's got to kill him. So we have a massive 1v1 and absolutely slime him. And he's now dead. And we get a trophy for doing all this bad stuff. This is probably horrible timing, but I actually got a trophy not too long ago, and here it is. I don't know what it was for, but yeah. Going back to the story, it turns out poisoning the Mongolian army isn't really cool, and our uncle put us in jail. After a lot of procrastination, we actually get tired of this and just make a run for it, escaping this place. But while we're on our way to try and escape here, our horse Nobu gets shot by an arrow. And unfortunately, on the way when we were trying to run away, it kinda died. And we're basically stranded in the middle of nowhere in Mongolian conquered territory. Ah, that reminds me, I forgot to talk about this trophy, which I just saw right now. Here it is. It's the ghost. I don't know what it is. Okay, we're now in the Mongolian land, and we meet Yuna, who steals a sword, and we then try and get away in a hideout. Long story short, we fight some more Mongols, save some of these people, and we get a trophy for having 30 different equipment or clothes. Now we're going to the snow where we kill the max amount of enemies in a standoff in one of these random side missions. Following this path, we get some people to help us attack a stronghold and get an achievement for completely taking it over. And now I decided to go send a letter or sneak into the castle of our uncle and place a letter in his hands, basically saying to him that I get it, you hate me, let's just go kill the Khan and get this all over with as just, mutuals. So we set off to go march on the Khan's base and just fight, where we see our uncle not too long later help us out and actually attack. After all of that, we confront the Khan and basically challenge him to a 1v1. This goes absolutely amazing and I get comboed into oblivion dying. But hey, after almost dying right here, I managed to actually beat him and he runs away, having his Mongolian guard just try and fight me while he just goes somewhere. This isn't really cool, so I go run towards his ship and try and finish him off in a fight with his other Mongolian army, where he is completely dead and the war is basically over because the leader's gone. we get a trophy for confronting the Khan and killing him. With all of this all over, we go meet our uncle, who says the Shogun has declared me a traitor, and that's a big issue as the Shogun's ordered my uncle to go kill me. So I'm in the whole dilemma where I'm now gonna have to 1v1 him. And this guy, my god, is so much tougher than the damn Shogun. But eventually I do beat him in this 1v1 and I get the devastating decision of either killing him and keeping his honor, or sparing him and embracing the ghost. I decided on just sparing him since, yeah, death like that isn't, it. And for this decision we get a trophy, fully completing the game's main story. Now I've got a bunch of miscellaneous stuff to do, such as all of this. First things first, I got a trophy for having a guy die to fall damage, which is a far way down there. Complete this old lady's tail, liberated 12 places in this area, since that's what I have to do. Get all the throwable techniques, liberate Toyonata, liberate another area, liberate again, liberate the whole of Tsushima Island. Damn, that was a lot of liberating trophies I had to get. Now we got to collect all the charm slots, purchase dies from the black market, max out my legacy to legend, complete every duel, and all mythical tales, with the archer's main tale, the monk's main tale, and rekindle all the lighthouses. Honor all of these, collect 20 Mongol artifacts, dress up as a legendary thief, play a song for a friend's grave, collecting 20 records, bowing to 10 hidden altars, completing all the hot springs and other stuff. And there are 2 more trophies that I just don't have recordings for, which is lovely, so you're gonna have to trust me on that one. And finally did all the side missions on the map to then get the platinum trophy, completing this game's platinum. Overall, this game was really good and fun. Sadly, I played it a year ago and only edited now, so I don't remember much about this game, and it's 172 gigabytes worth of recording on my computer, so that's something. Anyway, if you liked the video, consider subscribing and liking, and I'll see you in another video. Bye bye.